We actually might have a legal case here. We should probably stop talking about this.
Welcome to Hawthorne.
Here we are family. We harvest, we ferment, we gel.
Drive-by movies you're watching.
Fresh releases.
My name is Blaise.
And my name is James.
And this week we're talking the brand new film, The Menu.
This is what you're paying for.
Get out of my way.
It's all part of the menu.
It's okay.
No, we're gonna die today.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
The Menu has been in theaters and just hit HBO Max, so we're checking it out. It's about a young couple that travels to a remote island to eat in an exclusive restaurant where the chef has prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises. So this movie got a lot of great nominations at the Golden Globes. I don't think it won any, but it was mainly in the acting categories for Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes. Also got a fun performance from Nicholas Hoult, as well as John Leguizamo and a bunch of other actors too. Blaise, what are your initial thoughts on The Menu?
So this is one of those movies that I didn't catch in theaters, but as soon as it hit HBO Max, I think I watched it that week. And it was like one of those things where I was kind of looking forward to this. I had seen the trailer in theaters and was like, oh, this looks like it could be interesting. It could go either way. It seems like it's kind of a horror movie, or at least like a dark thriller. But it had an interesting subject, which is like, you know, this kind of chef's table-esque Michelin star restaurant that's on a secluded island where the chef has really flown the coop and kind of serving some wild dishes. But anyways, yeah, serving wild dishes and also normal dishes, I guess, at the same time. Spoiler alert, I guess, kind of. But anyways, yeah, this was one of those where it kind of caught me off guard of how much I actually enjoyed this movie, because I was thinking, oh, this might be like slightly entertaining, but I think after the fact I was like, oh, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was probably one of the best movies this year. I don't know if it made my list because I think I watched it kind of late, but or maybe it did. I can't really remember what my top 10 or top 5 was, but yeah, this was one of those where I would have put it on there if I didn't. If I did, I'm already 2 steps ahead of myself. How about yourself, James?
Yeah, no, it was a really fun watch. I was super excited to check out this movie. I didn't intend to see it in theaters, but just never got around to it, which really bummed me out because it was one that I was actually looking forward to. I'm not sure how many trailers came out for this movie, but the one trailer I saw hardly showed a whole lot. Like, I knew there was going to be some hijinks going down in the movie, but it wasn't enough to really reveal too much within the movie. It was just like the scene where it's like, you have 40 seconds, run now. And then the birthday sequence where like, you told them it was my birthday. It was just those scenes and like a couple other like, oh, we're going to this exclusive restaurant. We're all stuck up rich people. And I was just like, that's how you cut a trailer. Just get us like interested on what's going to happen. And I would have loved to have seen it with a big crowded audience, seeing some of the reactions to the like some of the things that go down with this movie without spoiling too much. But you know, it's very off-putting and catches you off guard with how violent it gets. Like, not that it's like violent towards like horror movie status, but still very shocking though.
Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me of the Barbarian trailer. I feel like this is along the same lines of that. Showed a different movie kind of, and then like what you got was like a different film, but not in a bad way. It was just like more, I guess, more expanded, but also, you know, good in another way beyond just what the trailer showed.
Exactly, yeah, and that's what I think movies need to be going in toward direction towards for the most part, just because who likes to get spoiled and stuff. Everybody hates the Marvel spoilers. They're always constantly saying, don't spoil it, or hashtag non-spoilers, don't ruin the movie. And just like, why can't we treat all movies like that and stuff, especially with the teasers and trailers? I know sometimes studios just don't believe in the movie and be like, oh, we got to show this and got to advertise it as if it's this movie when it's really not and stuff. Like, just bums me out. Just sometimes it's all you need. Just give a good teaser. And that's all we need. We don't need the 2.5 minute mark trailer that we're always constantly getting. That's what adds up to 30 minutes of trailers at movie theaters, and I'm sick of it.
And to slightly play devil's advocate, there was a studio actually that brought us a film last year that was very similar in the style, where it didn't spoil the movie by any means at all. And it also gave us the idea of a tease and a movie that we didn't get. And that was Halloween Ends.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting marketing, yeah. And the studio knew what they were doing with that one, just because everyone hated it because they didn't get what they were expecting with that. I'm surprised that movie didn't get sued like Drive did. We actually might have a legal case here. We should probably stop talking about this, but for those who don't know, a lady sued Drive for thinking it was going to be a Fast and the Furious movie, and she won like a settlement. So it's like, maybe we should take Blumhouse and Universal to court for duping us on Halloween Ends.
The old bait and switch. But something that The Menu didn't do is bait and switch us in a bad way. I feel like this film just expanded on the concept and idea that the trailer kind of showed us. It really expanded on that metaphor, which is interesting because I think one of my favorite things about this film was the metaphor. I think it is a little heavy-handed in this movie, but I felt like the metaphor, maybe I could just relate with it more, or maybe I appreciated it more, the critic versus the art or the artist. Versus something that another film we watched recently that I disliked was probably Banshees of Inisherin, because I felt like the metaphor was so heavy-handed in the sense that the characters weren't actually characters. They were just only solely existed to be part of the metaphor in a sense. Where I feel like this, like the film still is fully fledged a movie. It's just the metaphor is also, another aspect to the film.
Yeah, the way I kind of like saw it was the food critic from Ratatouille. Like, what if that guy was a chef and just was always upset and stayed upset for the rest of his life and stuff? And that's like basically what Ralph Fiennes' character was, which was really enjoyable. And just like seeing like the arrogance with his like plates and stuff, and just like it had me dying laughing and stuff, just because today's modern setting with like Instagram and just how the influencer lifestyle is, like I crack up at like how like people appreciate the most minimalist, most ridiculous things and just claim it's art, but it's still like funny to witness. Like, this is a movie that I love talking about, but I don't want to spoil it just because it's still fresh and not enough people have seen it, I feel like.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, I was really about to just jump right into spoilers, but it's
which
fine.
We can now. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's not really even worth talking about, in the sense that there's just moments in this film, I think, to expand on, is there's moments that have such like funny laugh out loud comedy that would really kill it if you were to see this movie in theaters. And I know it's still playing in some theaters. So it's still a possibility. Obviously, you can watch it at home on HBO Max, but there are moments in this movie that I feel like would have really killed in theaters, and would have like just, especially like they're just thinking of the climax, not to get into spoilers, but just the climax, I think would have really taken the cake. And yeah, just overall, like really just enjoyed how entertaining this movie was. There's moments here and there where I'm like, okay, they're kind of trying to make a little bit too much out of this, but just that metaphor is just so funny of like, he's really off his rocker, and honestly, like just the way that everything kicks off in the beginning, it's just this movie's like a lot of fun. It's a great dark comedy that, I think one of the things that I really enjoyed the most about it is it's very inventive, in the sense that we haven't seen this movie specifically before. Maybe we've seen this metaphor, in a million different ways, but you haven't seen it specifically like a dark food movie, I guess.
Right, yeah. And which I'm always down for. Everyone loves food and stuff. Like, if anyone brings up, what's a good food movie? I think everyone thinks a chef and stuff, but The Menu is a new fun take. Like, I was curious, like, out of all the dishes you saw, what would be your favorite? I mean, I know mine is, of course, the ending meal that Anya Taylor-Joy eats.
That's a spoiler. I was gonna say
But
well,
I was
mine
curious
is the meal after that. Mine's the meal after that, but that's a spoiler, so don't say it. But yeah, like mine is the meal after the meal that you enjoyed, which I enjoy all the time. There's some restaurants that I like to go to that have that meal available. Some of which are known in California very well, by a couple, maybe 5 letters. No, 6 letters.
Yeah. I'm curious though, like the bread thing I think was my favorite gag though and stuff. I was like, what? This is so ridiculous and stuff. But like, I can imagine like it was just like a funny take. Like I could imagine going to an art place and just seeing that on a table and just being like, what the hell?
Yeah, this movie, it's very entertaining. I think one of the things I like the most about it is just like how, people often say like, you hear people say like, oh, Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. They don't have original stories anymore. Like, where's the menu been this whole time? There are screenplays like this that exist. I'm sure there are thousands of screenplays that come out every year and get read maybe once and then just get thrown in the trash. And they're probably like the most inventive thing that we've heard or seen lately, but it just doesn't make it to the right table.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Yeah, because this is a heavy hitter, and like I'm glad that it's getting good recognition critic wise, and I know it was a top movie on Letterboxd for the last couple weeks recently since it premiered on HBO Max. So that's good to hear and stuff. I mean, of course, this is the crazy film community of film nerds on Letterboxd and stuff, but it's still cool to see that it's doing well there. But what did you think about The Menu? It's available to watch on HBO Max. After checking out, come back here, let us know what you thought about it. You can also check it out through our Amazon affiliate link in our description box below.
And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. Smash it, in fact. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button and click that notification bell to get all our latest updates.
And if you can't get enough of us here on YouTube, catch all our social media links down below for Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd. That'll conclude this week's episode. Tune in next week for a brand new video.